Hello everyone, Bob here, and welcome to this week's episode of Voice of the Movies. This week I'm going to look at the Box of Souls, the Nightmare on Elm Street box set. I'm going to do an unboxing of the set first, and then I am going to give a review of the soundtrack from the first film. I find that each of these movies kind of have their own character, so I don't want to review them all in one go around. So, their own character identity would be another way to put it, but like I say, I don't want to do it on one go around. So I will get to the other films in the set later. But first, let's take a look at what's inside the box. The outside slipcover is designed to look like Freddy's torso with all the souls of the children victims trapped inside them. And this artistic work on the outside is actually raised, so it feels you feel it's everything in the outside jacket is very heavy. You slide that out, and the sleeve holding all the individual albums is styled to look like a red and green sweater, like what Freddy wears. So first, I'm going to pull out the albums and we'll look at the artwork on them. Here's the artwork for the original. This is the one I'm going to review. It's Freddy in that scene from Tina's Dream where his arms are elongated. Flip it over. Then there's the girls jump roping, and then there's the track listing. Now this is the only album I want to pull out because they're all black. But they've all got the red and green circle around the label. But otherwise, other than the labels giving the different name for the different movies, they're all the same. Then it's got a very nice plastic sleeve to protect the record. This is the artwork for part 2. You flip it over. It's the scene from the bus nightmare at the beginning. Track listing. Part 3. Of course, from the dream where where Freddy controls the kid like he's on strings. And of course the back. And no, I am sorry to say this does not include the Dokken song, Dream Warriors. To get it, you need a Dokken album. But unfortunately, that is not on this, contained in this set. Part 4, it's the Elm Street house. Sorry about the glare. There's the back of part 4. This is the Dream Child. Freddy's dead. And got a welcome to Springwood. And you notice the population keeps getting smaller. I thought that was kind of a clever touch. There's the track listing in the back. Now, on Wes Craven's New Nightmare, it is a double LP. So we have a gatefold. So we've got Freddy on the front. Open it up. It's the scene where he comes out of the bed. Then the scene where showing the toy dinosaur guard the path into the nightmare world. And here's the track listing on this one. There's also a booklet included, box of souls. You open it up and it has information about the films. Some artwork over there. Of course, dedicated to Wes Craven, 1939 to 2015. When he died of cancer. Nightmare on Elm Street 2, 3. Information written by the actors and the directors. And in case part 4, the composer. And 4 also had Lisa Willis Cox, who plays Alice. Composer for part 5. Then for New Nightmare and Freddy's Dead, Charles Brigden, editor-in-chief of Films on Wax, wrote the essays for those films. And that's the extent of the booklet. The back of it has acknowledgments, production credits, that sort of thing. Now for the score for the original Nightmare on Elm Street, it was done by Charles Bernstein, and for my money, it is one of the most iconic horror film scores out there. I'd put it up there with the likes of John Carpenter's Halloween, because the score alone elevated that movie. And to me, the score for Nightmare on Elm Street is just as important as Carpenter's score was to his film. An interesting note about this score, and it talks about it in the booklet that comes with the set, that the composer Charles Bernstein actually used like an 8-track recorder and recorded himself playing all the instruments and doing all the vocals himself, because the film didn't have enough of a budget to have him conduct an orchestra for his score. And it was done very well, because you can't tell it. I had no idea that was how it was done until I got this set and I read the little booklet. But I just thought that was a neat thing. Of course, the score is built around the infamous do 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 do. That's the central key to everything, and it kind of builds around that. And the tension in the nightmares, it does very good. In the film, when you're watching it, they build the tension. It feels like you're in a nightmare, because you feel the tension building. You feel disoriented at times. It's a wonderful job with that. Another standout is the when Johnny Depp's character dies. I know, spoilers, but I imagine everybody watching this has seen the movie. If you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. It's a very stark beat, and it's very unsettling. And then when it pauses for a second, you can almost feel Nancy's despair. And another highlight of this score for me is the part where Nancy is setting the booby traps for for Freddy, for when she brings him out into the real world, and it feels very much like it could have come from an 80s action movie. It felt very in place for what was happening on screen. It was bravo. And like I say, there isn't a whole lot to say about this score other than it is very effective. It does its job well. You feel like you're in a nightmare when there's a dream sequence going on. It starts out nice, and the music starts out nice and calm and gentle when first you're not sure, and then once it becomes obvious that the character's asleep and that they're in a nightmare, it goes to 0 to 60, if you will, into disorienting mode and terrifying mode, and it pushes all the right notes and builds all the right tension in the right places. And I dare say that A Nightmare on Elm Street wouldn't be the classic that it's remembered as today without the score it has. That's not to take anything away from Wes Craven. Wes Craven did a wonderful job with the film, directing it and writing it, and it was great. But like Halloween, you miss something without the music. Like I say, music is the voice of the movies, the soundtracks, and that there is a reason, because they add them, they give it that extra push, that extra excuse me, that extra step into the next level that they can't get on their own. Granted, I know it's very possible to show tension and stuff without a soundtrack score. But these scores are iconic for a reason. They can make or break a movie, and this one is definitely one that made the movie. That's all I've got to say about A Nightmare on Elm Street. Whether you have it as part of this set, or I know that this album, sorry, screensaver keeps going off. I'm using that as a light. The lighting in here isn't good. I don't have my studio set up quite yet. But I know the original is available as a separate record. And if you're a horror fan, or if you're a soundtrack, even if you're not a horror fan or soundtrack, if you're just a soundtrack fan, pick it up. It is, to me, would be on a top 100 scores of all time. It needs to be picked up. If you collect these scores, if you like listening to them, I recommend it. If you're unsure, check it out on I know Amazon Music has it. I'm assuming some of the others do. Give it a listen to and see what I'm talking about. That's all I've got for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel, and let me know what you guys think. I'd like to hear some of the musical scores that you guys like and think push their respective movies to the next level. Follow me on Facebook or Twitter. Just search for Bob the Film Guy. And for now, this is Bob, signing off.